Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're right back with you. We took a small break, but you know the sponsors that make the show possible, they have to get their time, so we're glad to be right back with you. We have a number of texts that came in. We're going to talk a little bit about some of them, Samuel.
Courtney, we got one text that came in and said the guts.
Right.
We were talking about the guts being clean. This person said for sure the guts are due to be clean in May and in June, especially the one in Huntum's Guts. So anybody that's interested about the guts being clean in preparation for hurricane season. Another text came in and said government workers, why are government workers constantly coming to work late, especially after 10 a.m.? Deputy Governor's Office need to get on that. I know they were talking about, you know, efficiencies.
Yeah.
People trying to get government, access government offices, and people are not in place at the beginning of work hours. So this person said they had a suggestion for you, Courtney. They talk about the zip line. They said, why don't we incorporate a water slide with the zip line? They said that's one great way to increase tourism, another tourism attraction. I gotta say, Courtney, I like the idea of the zip line.
Okay.
But can we some of the investors please look at some of the other areas around the island where we can drive more economic activities to those areas, such as the 8th district. There's a whole nother world around Tortola. We can't continue to put everything in
But you're saying Tortola, I usually say the Virgin Island, because from Anegada to Joshua Neck, we're missing a lot of opportunities. You know, there's so much. I was speaking to someone about I was saying that we have sand dunes in Anegada. We have sand dunes in Anegada about 30 feet high. And we have, some of us in the territory haven't explored the territory. We don't know what we have in the territory. And in order for you to be good in marketing and sell what you have to know what you have at first. So maybe one of the focuses of our tourism product might be to educate the public of what we have. And when you know what you have, you can sell what you have.
Yeah, I agree. This person also said something about the workers, the people in Craft for Life. They said about 99% of them are not even paying rent, and some of them shouldn't even be considered.
Some of these texts that are coming in, right, they're really management things. And for example, if you have workers coming in at 10 a.m. and you have supervisors being paid to monitor these workers, you can't only blame the workers, you have to blame the supervisors as well, because they're signing up. Good evening, you've reached Speak Your Mind. Go right ahead, please.
Good night to both of you.
Good night.
Good night.
I want to speak on the Smuggler's Cove.
Go right ahead.
I don't think it's right for tourists to go to Smuggler's Cove and can't get nothing to drink nor eat.
Okay.
That's not right. The government has to do something about that.
Well, as far as I heard, the government is doing something about that. I understand that the plans are with the minister for the subject, the deputy premier, and I guess sometime soon we'll be hearing from them what the plans are going to be.
Oh, because a lot of money is passing around down there, and you know, nobody's getting nothing.
No, it ain't just Smuggler's Cove, it's all of our beaches. We got a lot of tourists that look for different things in different locations. Not everybody want to go to Smuggler's Cove or Cane Garden Bay or Beef Island Beach, but what they want is options. And there's, you know, the options that we talked about, expanding our tourism product, and I'm saying this directly to the people who are in charge. If we can continue to talk about expanding our tourism product, for every 10 people that come in this country, 1 out of every 10 wants something different. They don't all want the same thing. And the more diverse we can of a product we can offer to our tourists, the better our country gonna be, and the better each community and neighborhood's gonna be off. I mean, we can't push everything in Smuggler's Cove, we can't push everything in Cane Garden Bay, and then you have a whole community attached to 4 or 5 beaches in the eastern area. I'm from East End. I'm an advocate for the 8th district where no business go through. You don't have any tours. We have some of the most historical spots in the 8th district and the 7th district. But yet we get no tourists or no tours going to that area specifically to tour that area.
Yeah,
So it's killing the community.
You just need to put a bathroom down there and get some tourist buses down there.
Where Josiah's Bay? It has a bathroom down at Josiah's Bay.
Not function.
Beef Island.
Oh, Beef Island. Yeah. You need proper facilities at Beef Island.
Well, you're going to have the same thing. People, when they go to Beef Island, they want to enjoy the same thing they're going to enjoy at Smuggler's Cove, a really nice ambience. They want a nice clean bathroom. They want a changing room. They want to have 1 or 2 vendors that can offer them some cultural things, some food, an environment where they're saying to themselves and their friends, hey man, I want to go back there. I love that spot, and they can help us sell this territory. So again, you're talking about Smuggler's Cove. I think you're right. I take a lot of people to Smuggler's Cove, and I know what people are saying. And up to yesterday, it was a challenge trying to get people down there now because the word is out on TripAdvisor. TripAdvisor have 50 million people every month hitting their website. And if you go on there, one of the most highly recommended beaches in the BVI right now is Smuggler's Cove. And people now are saying, don't go to Smuggler's Cove because you can't get nothing to eat, you can't get nothing to drink, there's no restroom. Dude, modern day, people got to go in the outhouse to go use the restroom. That's a shame for a high-end destination place.
Yeah.
So we got to do better.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. We got to do something, but not just Smuggler's Cove, all our beaches.
But Carla, you're raising a good point because, as Sam is saying, we could put some temporary facilities there yesterday. You with me?
Yep, respect.
If we want to do it, we can do it.
But Courtney, I disagree with you on the temporary thing. I'm so tired of this temporary business. Outhouse. When I was 10 years old, that was 1980.
Yeah.
When I was 15 years old, that was 1985. We had an outhouse. Courtney, today we got high-end properties such as Peter Island, Little Dix Bay, Byers Creek, Bitter End, Oil Nut Bay, Nickel Island, on and on and on and on. And these people are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to come out to our destination. Granted, they stay there most of the time, but when they do come over, why would they want to come to our place when they got a nice bathroom at Peter Island and then they come to Smuggler's Cove and they got to go in an outhouse? That's an embarrassment. That's an embarrassment to the country or to the people running this country.
They can build one like the one by Myers. That's a nice
we
one.
need a proper bathroom. We need proper changing room. We need proper parking lot. We need to get serious if we're going to get serious. So all the plans that are out there that should have been in play 10 years ago should have already come to fruition. It shouldn't have to be sitting here now still talking about bathrooms on some of our most visited beaches. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So I think we got some people now in place. Let's see what Ms. Bratman's going to bring to the table. I think she's fully aware. I think there's a beach management crew coming up. So let's see what they come for. We're going to give them 6 more months.
Definitely.
6 more months, and then we're going to be all over them.
Okay, good night to you all.
All right, appreciate the call. Tell your friends to keep calling. Courtney, that right there, man, that's an embarrassment. That really is an embarrassment, Courtney. I took 6 people to the beach yesterday. You know what they had to do? Go down by the pond to use the bathroom today in a place like the BVI. And we talking about high-end destination.
We had a text that came and said that the prison in Balsam Grove was built for 60 and they now have 127. That should be an embarrassment in itself.
But you know what that means?
Yeah.
Your children start to stop committing crime. We got too many of them up there.
But I also told you of the situation up there is not mainly that. You have people up there who have not been sentenced.
I agree with you on that.
We have people up there who never went to trial.
But you know, like in the States, for example, you got a jail and you got a prison.
Yes.
Most people don't know the difference between the two.
That's true.
A jail is where before your sentence.
Before your sentence.
A prison is where you go after your sentence. Okay, maybe that's the problem.
That's one of the problems.
Okay.
I think I like one of the things you were saying as well, though. Know your district. If you know your district, what's in your district, you can sell your district. And if you know what is not in your district, you can advocate for those things to be in your district.
Yeah.
So I think everyone knows the district that they're from.
I mean, think about it. Think about it. We have several historical sites between where we are right now, Cuoma, East End, Josiah's Bay, Long Loop, all the way to the airport.
Yes.
And there's no tailored tours that go that way.
There's one. There's one that goes by the college.
Okay, all right. So it goes into the college, it talks about the college, and then where to go from there?
But there's a museum at the college, and then it goes back up.
Which museum? The one that's not finished built yet?
No, the Maritime Museum.
Oh, the Maritime Museum. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Courtney, there's a lot more than that.
But there's a lot more than that.
A lot more than that.
Just Nottingham Estate alone, in my opinion, could be a full tour. Just
between Nottingham and Josiah's Bay.
Yeah, and Josiah's Bay. Yeah.
Those two could create an enormous tour and opportunity for the people. Them guys up there sitting around, some of them want to be a part of our tourism product. This is an opportunity. Develop some things, develop some stops there, some information, so the tourists can get out and feel and touch it.
Good evening. You've reached Speak Your Mind. Go right ahead, please.
Good night, Sam.
Good night. How are you?
Just like already advocating for the 8th district, I advocating for the 3rd district too.
There you go, my dear.
What's going on in the 3rd district? What we need to know?
They shut us down. We would like to see that because we have a project do. We want to complete it. The Nibs Estate Road, put a banner back up there and cut the road so people could get a land.
You finish?
I'm waiting for Sam feedback, but he's speechless.
No, I'm sorry. I was really waiting for the punchline. So you're saying that there's a waterfront project?
I see the Seacoast Bay Harborview project.
And that's been shut down. There hasn't been any funding for that.
Showing the people and the plan what he had for us to bring cameras in our district. I want to see them do it.
I think there should be funding for it. I personally think there should be funding for it. I mean, I gotta tell you, I'm be honest. I hate to beat around the bush. It was a challenge for me, right, to see the kind of money that was spent in Seacoast Bay when it relates to roads and sidewalk around the same time that a young lady got killed around the college. That was really heartbreaking for me because me and the minister, I thought we got along pretty well, and I thought I could voice my concern. I thought the minister was the minister for the entire country, and yes, he has a responsibility for the district. So he did whatever he had to do, and I applaud him for that for the district, right? So now you're advocating that you want to see that waterfront development come forward.
Not no waterfront, because they have a view project. Waterfront is tongue. Me talking about tongue. I'm talking about Seacoast.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I was right next to the piece of land earlier today getting some food. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I am not going to sit here and tell you that I don't think you should get funding. You should get funding to finish it because it's going to create that kind of activity that you're talking about for Seacoast Bay residents. But right now, we got to do what's priority. And if I was in a driving seat, and if I was running this country or a part of anything that running this country, I'm looking at priority. What can stimulate more revenue for the entire country and not just a specific area? Even though I'm advocating for East End Long Look. Remember, East End Long Look is tagged to an international airport. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but it's not.
We could have another port of entry there.
Is it? Hold on. We could
bring money in the country.
Yes, we could, but is it a needed port of entry?
Yes.
How? We have one in West End. We got one in Rotong. How is it needed?
They're full.
Okay. Okay. I think you should get funding. That's the bottom line. I think it should get funded, and I think all our projects such as that should be funded. I can't argue against that, but I'm gonna look at.
I want to put the man them back up there to finish the road. People like me, I think who get 7 children who get a little something, or they could knock up something to help myself. The same government want to put up there a cemetery,
Let me ask you something though, Carla. You had a chance to take a look at the budget as yet?
No.
Okay, well, one of the things you might want to do for yourself is to look at the budget, because I haven't perused it as much as I wanted to, but I think there's about $25 million in there for capital works. And all the things that we are talking about, except we go and loan more money, would have to be done with that $25 million in this 2012 year.
That shouldn't be.
That's what I'm saying?
That shouldn't
so
be.
If you have a limited amount of money, as Sam was saying, you have to put some priorities. To some of the things that you're doing.
What's necessary now to help generate revenue so you can get exactly what you're asking for in your district.
So I think it's only fair to allow the government to put their case forward with what they're doing, and then
I feel they're going to try to shut out the 3rd district.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. We're not going to sit there and let that happen.
It's easy to say that if
Last time when they do it in 2003, you sit there and let it happen?
I wasn't here. I wasn't here. No, we didn't do that.
Yes, they did it.
Okay.
Because other people get nipped the state and they were not able to do nothing up there on it.
Well, we'll have to monitor what's going on a little bit closer. You don't agree?
We in the 3rd district ain't sleeping this time. We wide awake.
That's the attitude I want.
Give them a certain amount of time and then we gonna make noise.
Give them 6 more months.
That's the attitude I was waiting to hear.
Wait for the next budget. Wait for the next budget.
Electricity ain't going on in the 3rd district, you know.
Okay.
It's gonna be on.
Okay.
Good night.
All right, good night.
Very important call.
Very important call, okay.
But Courtney, she should know that we're not going to just sit here and think that and just let things go like that and let people be victimized. I mean, we're here for justice.
I've said on this show more than one time before that the roads, right? We need to pay attention to the quality of the roads, and it shouldn't be. Well, let me come back to that. Yeah. Good evening. You're free speaking mind. Go ahead, please.
Hey Sam, Courtney, what's up?
Hey bro, what's going on?
Listen, Courtney, I'm going to put this here because I think you're more familiar with this. But I understand there is some proposed building for the DDM in the region of some $4-point-something million. Courtney, I'm trying to understand that. Why is it every project, seemingly it doesn't matter how big it is, it's millions of dollars when it comes to government? I mean, you're an architect. I don't know if you're an engineer also, but I mean, what kind of building are they proposing for the DMs that should be costing them kind of money? Everything's some millions of dollars. I mean, can you address that to me? I'll hang up on this.
Well, he's asking about. I saw the information just like the caller, that they're proposing a new structure, and it's somewhere in the region of $4 million, and it speaks to the cost of construction. Just yesterday, I was talking with some of my colleagues, and I was saying to them that if you wanted to build a home in the Virgin Islands now, if you don't have $500,000, you're not going to get a home built, according to the figures that I'm seeing out there, especially in the real estate market. So if you're using that as an example of what is going on, they're probably correct in saying that that's the type of scenario that we have. It's probably caused by two things. One, the price of materials that continue to go up, the cost of transportation, which we have an unfair disadvantage with our neighbors next door, and the fact that we have an oversupply of labor, which is causing the price of labor to be even much higher than it should be, and for unskilled people, not even skilled people. So we have some challenges in the construction industry, in my opinion, that is causing the kind of how should I put it, the skewed and skewed upward amount of costs when it comes to construction costs. However, I still think there's hope. I think that we can still manage to probably reduce some of that cost if we are careful and do our due diligence and be mindful of being extravagant and overspending. While at the same time, I must admit that for the DDM, they probably will be looking at, yeah, go ahead. They probably will be looking at higher requirements. Yeah, go right ahead. If you speak your mind, go right ahead, please. Good night.
Two things I feel is an issue. One, we, the people of BVI, have a state problem. Like when the government comes to us for anything, we think on, this is money, and jack of the price. If something costs $1, but the regular man, the government come and it costs 20. That's why we have so much inflation. Everybody that's all I want to reach today. They want to reach tomorrow. The other part is the government don't want to install consumer control. The other one is Scotland is just saying you don't believe in it. And that's why I feel the people that will be there is doomed. Because if your own people are running the country can't see where we're going with this inflation. That doesn't talk about gas. Gas went up. Gas never went back on that over.
You know that a gallon of gas right now is $5.05.
Let me ask you this also. Anybody ever stop to see if the gas companies actually give me a gallon of gas?
I don't.
You pay for a gallon of gas, but you ain't getting a gallon of gas. You getting less than a gallon of gas.
That's a serious acquisition, though. I never ever carry a gallon or 1 gallon and check to see if I get a gallon, but it's food for thought, you know.
And the same with food.
It's food for thought, yeah.
We have 4 countries in the Caribbean that don't pay the kind of money they really pay for food. That's why I have a serious issue.
And
that's where consumer control is needed.
And while you're on that topic too, we have some items where there's no duty on them, and the items still cost more.
Exactly.
Than if you had to import it yourself.
And that's just my 2 cents on the whole matter.
Well, thank you very much. Your call is important to us. Thank you.
Courtney, real quick, one of the texts that came through said this person was saying that we have over 100 people that have been sentenced in prison. So if the prison have 127, it sounds like they're saying there's only about 27 people left that hasn't been sentenced. So I guess that's a number we could verify. It'd be good, it'd be worthwhile examining to see if that's true or not. And then also there was another one that talked about security. They took a trip recently. Security is bad. It's lagging at the airport.
Good evening. You're speaking mine. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
I just wanted to give you guys a few tips on getting the traffic flowing in the Rotong area, because it's kind of getting a little pain now that school is again. I think it should turn the road from by the foot of Joseph down to Kisto into a 2-way, so that people who are coming from up Joseph who have no business across by the high school area could turn down that road and then proceed towards the roundabout or go down towards the back road into the over traffic area as they like to pack. That's one. 2, I think they need to take in the fence by the UP Cinema, by the music room, in there by the volleyball court area. Either take that section in so that buses, parents and stuff who come to drop off the children don't stop in the road and impede the traffic, so the traffic will continue flowing, because it's a major problem that a person will come and stop by the crosswalk. There's parents, 4 or 5 vehicles back by the bridge by UP Cinema, and their kids wouldn't get out. They will wait until they reach down to the same crosswalk and stop again. Whereas from time you get anywhere by UP Cinema, you're supposed to don't start getting up all them vehicles up behind up there, you know, or even from the other side down by the Afro. Because for every child, for every vehicle to just come and stop by the crosswalk, it doesn't make any sense. Make a recess area there that every parent or school bus could pull off and let the traffic continue flowing. Fix that one road going down by Old Bobby's into a 2-way. And also the turning lane, where it is going up in front of Sport Value to go towards the Red Cross building to go back to the police station. That turning lane needs going in after you pass the cultural center. Make an extra lane in there so that the turning lane becomes longer, because once a vehicle reaches to the stoplight, the block the actual entrance from you making a left turn because it's right up to the mouth of the turn. So you can't get 5 or 6 vehicles making a turn as they continue to yield and fit into the traffic as they continue turning there with the light. Also coming back down on the other side now at the same stoplight, you have the trust companies and stuff inside of Tobacco Wharf. People will come to the light, and then when they move off of the green, you now accelerating, and then here comes this person now stopping and slowing right down to make the turn to go in there. Why we don't take that lane in from the start of Tobacco Wharf fence, that if somebody's going into Tobacco Wharf, they don't have to go to the light. They will just come right down and stay on the outside and then proceed right into Tobacco Wharf, because you can make it a closed shut off shoulder that they can't get back over into the lane, so they must go into Tobacco Wharf.
Carla, all of what you're saying make complete sense. Okay? What about the hospital? We're building a hospital with 100 rooms. What kind of lanes we're going to have to get into the hospital?
Well, that area down there needs
redesigning. It needs the same thing you're talking about. It needs redesigning. There are a number of areas that need I can't even get a word said now. Redesigning. Okay?
Right.
But so your point is well taken. Let's get on the committee to get them redesigned.
Well, I'm ready for it now.
Okay, buddy.
All right, cool.
All right, bye. It goes without saying, Sam, if you have development in an area, you need to adjust the access to the area to suit the new development. It goes without saying. Sam, we've been having a wonderful show, and of course, there comes a time when we have to start wrapping up the show to bring it to a conclusion. I listened to some of the introduction that we made, and we're right on target. We're meeting the needs of the community. We were able to bring out the meeting that's going to take place next week with Henry Billingham on the white paper for the new relationship between the Virgin Islands and the UK government. We talked a bit about tourism. We talked about construction industry. We were able to talk about the upcoming hurricane season and the fact that we have to look at cleaning the guts and drains. And we got a text that came in that said it's going to start in May and it's going to go May and June. We talked about capitalizing on our British status and how we don't do enough to sell the product that we have, which is the British. We may have the 1 or 2 areas that we have developed. We have the enzyme on the flag that we use with the maritime and stuff like that. But there's so much more that we can do. I spoke about changing the gap. We have to take this last call. Good evening. This is the last call we're taking. Good evening.
You have to be
You're
quick.
going to be quick.
Yeah, be quick. Sam Courtney, we talk a lot about our next door neighbor, St. John, and in relation to property value and what have you.
Yeah.
We have a place there north of the island, this called some Packer Estate. But local people understand buy property over there no more, What are we coming to? We are just like St. John or even worse. Watch yourself. Okay, this is short, so I'm going to end it there.
Thank you.
Before you close, I'm going to say to that caller, one of the things that I remember during this campaign, advocating, I'm going to keep advocating it, and I don't care who get upset. Just like the minister had suggested that we need to have a land bank, that's all good and well. When lands are in a situation and government could purchase that land, put it in a bank, and it retain in the hands of locals.
Yes.
We need to have a moratorium on the sale of land in this country for the next 20 years. The only way land should be sold if it's directly for investment, meaning as far as hotel and so forth, and it should be strict guidelines. The remainder of the land, these real estate companies in this country that don't care about this territory, the land they already have, start managing it. And I advise people local, stop selling your land. Lease. Stop selling your land. Incorporate your business, incorporate your family members as shareholders, and keep it in your family for the rest of your life. Build to suit. Stop selling your land.
Yes, Sam, we're going to continue wrapping up though because we're at that point in the show. We talked about Balsam Gut Prison, the fact that it was built for 60 persons and is now holding in excess of 127. We were able to talk a bit about Know Your District and how our tourism product should include all the things that we have in the various districts. We touched on our usual topic for the evening, Smuggler's Cove, and we understand that those plans are with the Deputy Premier. So we're waiting to see what's going to happen with that situation as well. All in all, Sam, we had a pretty good show. We encourage persons to be more proactive in this community. You know, speak your mind, be forceful with the things that you care about and want to see change in our community, and speak out. Don't just listen. Don't be an innocent bystander, because if you're an innocent bystander, when you do wake up, you might be in a different condition. And I would really like to end my comments on the gentleman that spoke. I said he was elderly and he's being disturbed all night. I think one of the things that we, the younger ones, should be able to do is provide peace of mind for the people who build this country, because it is the least we can do for them when they were able to do for us when we couldn't do for ourselves. So Sam, I'll let you have the last before we...
Courtney, I'm going to close real quick on 2 points.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to elaborate again on the whole land thing. Mm-hmm. People that don't own the land don't own anything, and you're going to be left out in the cold. It might be painful for some people to understand this, but I'm telling you right now, we need to have a moratorium on the sale of land to outsiders in this country. The same way they have in Bermuda, in some places where they advocate if you're not a resident or citizen of that country, you're not allowed to buy property. And Bermuda got a large economy. Don't feel like you're going to lose investors and all that nonsense and the normal story that people sell you about, turning people away. You ain't turning nobody away. You sell land to people who come in to have real investment in your country, and they provide jobs, security, insurance, and all those things for your people for future and future and future. Otherwise, they just here for self-gain. Anytime you allow and keep selling your land to people who are not from this country, remember they're coming in with a huge advantage. They're coming in with money, and they don't have to stay here. All they doing is buying. They're going to offer you high cost, high price for your land, and next thing you know, they slowly but surely keep moving you out. A moratorium simply means you can't sell land for anything that's not a real investment. And an investor, whoever he or she is, you'll know them. People who just come and buy up the land and then raise the cost of living in the country, that's one of the reasons why cost of living is so high in this country. We blame high gas price, we blame high food price, we blame high this and high that. There's a lot of factors that play into why the cost of living is so high in this country, and that's one of the main factors. So I can tell people and keep advocating, ladies and gentlemen, locals, if you have a piece of land or pieces of land, incorporate your business, your land. All your family members that you get along with, everybody become shareholders in your business. People who come in want to purchase your land, don't sell them nothing. Let them come with a letter of intent. What they're trying to do, you have enough land to back up whatever bill they want to build. You build to suit, you own it, and you lease it to them. When they up and leave, it belongs to you. You make your money when you can make your money. Stop selling your land. Your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren going to fall in the next 20, 30, 40 years in a position where they're not going to be able to live in a country where they were born and raised. Stop it. You don't need to. There's ways to invest in your property. And leave it that there. Next thing is tourism. I think, Courtney, again and again, ladies and gentlemen, as citizens of this country, we could do a lot to help the tourism sector in this country. You're on Facebook, you're on the internet, you're communicating with your families overseas. Go to the tourist board and demand that the tourist board give you some t-shirts and so forth, and pens and all the stuff they got sitting around in warehouses that are not being used, and start sending them to your family members overseas. And tell your family members to start giving them up to people they meet in the street, in the schools, and all of these different organizations. They're going to church churches, wherever they go to shopping malls. Encourage them to meet and greet people and tell the people about where they're from. That boosts the awareness. Awareness sells. That's exactly what the Tourist Board is tasked with, boosting awareness. They spend millions of dollars to boost awareness of the territory, and we could do some of that for free. So tourism is important. Tourism, my construction friends, if we have a viable tourism sector, it means that you're building. Building is construction. So it all plays hand in hand. So with that said, Courtney, I'm going to leave it there. Folks, thank you again for tuning in. I know the discussion was really fruitful. I didn't get as many calls as I wanted, but I know people are watching. You're texting. We can't get to every text, so please understand that. So with that said,
Sam all said we had a very good show. We had the kind of participation, as you said, it wasn't as much as it could have been, but the quality was definitely there. And I have to say we had a wonderful show, and we have to bring the show to an end at this point. So as usual, I would say God bless these Virgin Islands and the people that live in these Virgin Islands, and we'll see you again next week.